The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect that of WPDE ABC 15, WWMB CW21, or its employees.
You're watching Carolina and Company Live. Your source for fun, entertainment, and events. With your hosts, Cecil Chandler and Amanda Sellers. If it's happening in the area, it's on Carolina and Company Live.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to Carolina and Company Live. It's a Tuesday, and we have a very special show today.
That's right. Sober Recovery Centers is here for a special Carolina and Company today. But first, let's check out our weather.
Well, happy Tuesday to you. We did have a fog advisory this morning. That has since been dropped. That was actually dropped this morning at 9 o'clock, but some of our area actually still running into areas of patchy fog. Not completely widespread, but the areas that the fog is in is pretty dense at times. Right now, just a 3 miles in terms of visibility there in Myrtle Beach and Kingstree, 4 miles. But again, across the PD and along the border belt, really looking good. Not a lot of fog to report there, but waking up tomorrow morning, we will be running into the fog once again. Not going to be as bad as what we were seeing. Switching gears here, a lot of different things today weather-wise. The smoke from the wildfires. Well, yesterday we did have our winds coming from the north-northeast, but today they are coming from the west-northwest. There are wildfires still continuing to burn in western North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. And from this wind direction, we are possibly going to get that haze similar to what we saw last Friday. So the cloud coverage will be dissipating throughout the afternoon hours today, making room for sunshine. But if you do see anything that looks kind of like cloud coverage, well, it's not. It's just that haze. And due to that, we do have an air quality alert in effect, and that is in effect until midnight, and very well could continue to get pushed into tomorrow, your Wednesday as well. This is mainly across the PD area, Darlington, Florence, and Marion there. But as far as we go here in Horry County, Georgetown County, and Williamsburg County, not really seeing this. Could it still make its way to us? Most definitely. But an air quality alert, again, is in effect. So anybody with respiratory issues, try not to go outside. And if you do, not for a lengthy amount of time. And it's not really going to be a great day to go exercise outside. Stay indoors as much as you can today, since this alert is in effect again until midnight. Check out your Tuesday high temperatures. Again, our wind direction coming from the northwest and the west. These temperatures will be climbing very quickly. You can see into the upper 60s. Right now, we're just in the upper 50s. Here's your 7-day grain strain forecast. 66 for your Tuesday, increasing those temperatures Wednesday, heading into Thursday, along with Friday and Saturday. And there's our next cold front. Check out that temperature drop Saturday heading into Sunday. Cloud coverage will be increasing along that front, but it's another dry front. Your inland 7-day forecast, a high of 68.
Weather is brought to you by A&I Fire and Water Restoration.
I hit rock bottom and thought there was nowhere to turn.
I couldn't stop partying.
And was failing in everything.
Then I discovered SOBA College Recovery.
And that my addiction was a symptom of a much deeper problem.
And if I didn't address the problem,
I'd never recover.
SOBA College Recovery is a holistic drug, alcohol, and addictive behavior treatment program. If you or a loved one is suffering, call 888-523-7001. Get help. Call SOBA College Recovery. Start healing today.
Good morning, everybody. We are talking about a very serious topic today. We're talking about addiction and what your options are when it comes to recovery. Our friends from Sober Recovery are here, and we're going to introduce them right now. We have Greg Hanley. He is the founder and CEO of Sober Recovery Treatments. We have actor Daniel Baldwin. He is also director, producer, and a SOBA alumni. We also have Philip Chasen. Philip is the owner-operator of SOBA College Recovery. And we have Joe Pomalis, and he is the clinical outreach coordinator and advocacy director for SOBA College Recovery. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming.
This is going to be a great show today. There's a lot of people out there watching that wants to know more about what we're going to talk about today.
That's right.
Because there are a lot of people out there that have a problem.
Absolutely.
And we're all going to deal with it today for the entire 30 minutes of the show.
That's right. All right. So today we're talking about addiction, and now there seems to be a lack of kind of understanding about what addiction is, and in the community, you know, there's a lot of stigma attached to that. Talk to us about addiction and tell us about that.
You hear about the opiate epidemic a lot now. All the way to the presidential candidates are talking about it. And it's been a dirty little secret in a church basement for a while, but the truth of the matter is that the United States and this area is under siege in a contagious epidemic of heroin right now. And it is, and if people don't start talking about it and understand that people who end up on this drug are sick and not bad. None of them want to become an addict. The drug companies introduced opiate-based painkillers at record levels a few years ago and turned people into heroin addicts. So we're here to give a little bit of education on what to do and talk about things that are relevant to how to treat this in the community.
All right, now you're talking about rural South Carolina. People watching say, wait a minute, we don't have a problem here.
Yeah,
we do have a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me give you a little perspective. In the next 14 months, more kids between the ages of 18 and 25 will die in the United States than died in the entire Vietnam War.
Wow.
58,000. We lost 49,000 last year, and that could double this year. So we will lose more people than that entire war just in that age group from overdoses of heroin.
That is
Heroin
unbelievable.
is in every single high school in South Carolina and all the way up the entire seaboard. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic background, it is there. So the big elephant is standing in the living room and no one wants to talk about it. Well, now they're forced to talk about it. So that's one of the big reasons why we're here right now.
Yeah, and addiction, it's a disease. I mean, it's not something we can look at somebody like you're a criminal. It's a disease.
Well, and it's not the addicts that we meet. They didn't want to become addicts. They're getting prescribed. I get these, and what they look like is your next door neighbor kid, the cheerleader, the football player. And many times now I'm meeting young kids that got a football injury, and they got prescribed so many Vicodin that they got addicted to it. They can't afford it. They start buying it on the street and they can't afford it or can't get it. And sooner or later, they're going to smoke heroin. And they're just going to do it once. Now they become a heroin addict. And sooner or later, they're going to shoot it. But they're only going to shoot it once and never share a needle. Then it turns into they don't care anymore. And the next thing you have somebody with hepatitis C or something worse. Wow. So we know how to fix this. Out of 500 beds in 4 different states, and we've grown to that in less than 4 years. So this isn't something that has been going on 30 years, this level of epidemic. I saw just in the last 10 years, it went from pretty equal, well, because we treat pill problems, we treat alcohol problems, and dual diagnosis, things that come with it. But all of a sudden it turned to where every phone call I was getting from parents was a 20 to 25-year-old heroin addict.
Wow, and so, I mean, and it doesn't discriminate. It can be anyone, as you've just talked about. And also, we've talked about long-term recovery. This is not like a 5-day fix. This is not a, 30-day program or something like that. Tell me more about your program.
Well, short-term, another dirty secret of the rehab industry is that 30-day treatment doesn't work. It's designed to fail. So somebody, this is a chronic thing, and we can get people off of the drugs or alcohol within 4 or 5 days, but they have so much other things that are going on with the medical, psychological, spiritual, and then especially social. So when you have become a heroin addict, your social circle becomes drug people and doing drugs. So it takes a while to redevelop the spirit and get somebody to have their esteem come back. And you're not going to meet, I tell people when I went to treatment, and I'm in recovery myself for a long time now, I went to one of the most expensive top places in the country at the time, and I had detox for a week, lied to my therapist for 2 weeks, and left. I saw her twice. You're not going to get to the bottom of any problems meeting somebody 2 times and going through a few groups. So ongoing continuum of care, letting out the rope some. So you start in detox, then you go to residential, then you go to day patient, then you go to outpatient, and then you go to sober living. And being around other people who have a common goal and a common problem makes you not be an outcast. So these kids that they send to Florida, for instance, and they go and do 30-day treatments, and they come back, and all their buddies are still getting high and drinking. So they're the odd duck in the group, and they can't, and sooner or later, they're gonna look down and have a drink in their hand, and the next thing they're back on their dope. So having them be in a social community of young people where it's cool to be sober, it makes all the difference.
Absolutely. It's who you surround yourself with.
Yeah,
If you
and they
don't
can
surround
stay
yourself
here.
with good people.
You know, a lot of them, the people who come with us that stay in recovery, a lot of times will end up staying a year, and then they become employees, because some of these guys, unfortunately, they were on a good track to a nice life. And then this drug comes into their life, and by the time we get them, the only thing on their resume is that I really know a lot about drugs and alcohol, and I have some legal problems that I had to solve. Well, they become very good drug counselors. So we have a program to get people into school who have an interest in that and help them turn their life around and make it something that's very positive.
We're seeing a lot of this now in the media. The media seems to pick up on it every time there's problems here. It comes about, and it's exploding on the media now.
Oh yeah. Well, tell them we were with the police departments yesterday.
Yeah, and Surfside.
Doing some work with them. And how many overdoses are they having here a day?
In Horry County alone, since September, I think we've had 81, or since the beginning of the year up till September, 81 overdose deaths. In the first 306 days of the year, there was 674 Narcan deployments, 674 lives saved from Narcan. So, you know, you're seeing four people a day Narcan just in Horry County alone, let alone the surrounding counties and throughout the state and beyond. You see it everywhere.
Wow, and I mean, and like we said before, you know, rural South Carolina, but Myrtle Beach is kind of a hodgepodge of all kinds of people coming in. So it's huge in this area, I think, because of that. There's so many people, you know, tourists coming in and stuff like that, that it creates the volume to you see it.
People don't even realize it's going on. It is so many times I'll be sitting with parents that will bring their kids in, and they'll go, I think my kid might be drinking too much or could even be using some drugs, and I'll sit down with them and find out that they've been using heroin for 2 years.
Wow.
So this is like a 16-year-old problem. When they get on the pills, 16, 18 years old, they're on the heroin 18 to 20, and then they become intravenous, you know, from that point. But there are certain things that people need to know that's very important these days, and it's okay to drug test your kids. Go to the drugstore and spend $20 if you, and especially for moms, if you think something is going on, something's going on.
Right.
Trust your intuition, but find out what it is. So don't assume, because this isn't something like the old days where kids grow out of.
Yeah.
They're not going to grow out of this. So once they get addicted, they're into it, and they either get treatment long-term that works, they go to jail, or you're at the funeral home. That's the three choices that come from this.
All right, now how did this problem get so bad? I mean, just like here in South Carolina, how did it get so bad?
It's the same all over the country. They overprescribed medication for pain. People started getting on that, and that pain medication is extremely addictive. You know, heroin is a cheaper option, so eventually they couldn't afford the medication anymore, or the drug dealer maybe didn't have it anymore. And you know, they said they would never do heroin, but you know, they're in a bad way, and so they start taking a little bit of heroin, and they go, this is the same thing, it's more powerful, it's cheaper. How was I spending all this money on pills when this heroin is $5 a bag? And like Greg was saying, in that 16 to 20-year-old window, they're smoking it, and they said, well, you know, I'm just never going to shoot it, and then they start shooting it, and then.
Well, you'll find, everybody knows that in Florida they had the pain clinics, and people were going down and going and getting pills and bringing them up and selling them. They had, that was 8 years ago when OxyContin was introduced. So OxyContin was the largest marketed medication of all time. And at the time, they were running commercials, and they had 12 spokespeople. They were running commercials saying, OxyContin is the greatest thing, it changed my life. And they specifically said this drug wasn't addicting. And it's hugely addicting. So out of those 12 people who were the spokespeople, I think 8 of them are dead.
God.
One lady that they interviewed said the only reason she's not dead is because after that drug took her life, her job, her house, her family, her health insurance, she couldn't afford to get it again. So that's the only reason that she got off.
Well, here's the cycle. So the short answer really is access. And this is why it is no longer an inner city problem, which when we were kids, shooting heroin was that kind of a thing. You pictured that being, in areas where they were more socially and economically depressed. But now you're the high school star quarterback and you get banged up on your knee in one shot during a game, and you walk in and they say, well, we're going to scope it, and then we're going to give you a 90, not enough to get you through the first week. We're going to give you enough for 2 months, and they or 120 powerful opiates.
Wow. As needed.
So you don't, believe me, you're not going in there as the kid and the parents of the kid who's going to a reputable orthopedic surgeon and getting this kid taken care of, get him back on the field and out of pain. You're setting him up. And the same companies that are throwing you those now have a drug that will help you get off those in Suboxone. We treat more people for Suboxone now because the remedy to not doing the opiate is addictive.
Wow. We're in that bad movie right now where the drug company created an epidemic, killing people. Then they create the cure that they sell to people, and the cure is as or more addicting than the drug. So once you're on it for long-term care, you're stuck.
I had rotator cuff and they gave me an OxyContin. They gave me some of those. I took one. I don't remember going home. They had to come get me and take me home. But I never took another one. And I had friends of mine that were addicted to that stuff. And it's just, I can't imagine what that does to somebody.
Well, and it grows. So what it does is your endorphins in your brain, so that pain channel, it cuts it off. So the only thing, this little cup that needs to be filled, that normal and naturally is filled chemically in your brain, it quits producing your body. So the cup gets bigger and bigger. And what happens a lot of times is that people get prescribed other things for the side effects. If you really pay attention on TV, they're advertising now a drug for opiate constipation. They have a drug on TV they're advertising saying, if you have opiate-based constipation, use this. Well, then you get sleeplessness, so you're going to get Ambien. Then you get anxiety because you're using all of this drugs and you got to find it, so they're going to give you Xanax. And they don't tell you when you get the Xanax that drug doesn't leave your body sometimes for 18 days. So whatever you're taking today is adding to what you took over the other 18 days. So you hear these people, not just heroin addicts, but pill people, they don't wake up because they have massive amounts of this, massive amounts of that. One of the byproduct or the side effects of benzo, Xanax, Klonopin, is that you loss of memory. So I forgot how many I took.
Wow.
And it is just boom, just like that.
So I mean, it's a vicious cycle. It just keeps going and perpetuating on and on and on. And if those drugs don't come out of your system, then it's what they call that prescription cocktail that a lot of people are dying from.
Well, and this is an emergency. This isn't something to sit and fool around with. People need to get on board with getting a lot of treatment here in this area. First of all, right now I have beds. We don't have beds here in Myrtle Beach right immediately, but I have beds in Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, California, where people can go to right now, and they just need to call, and we'll figure out a way to get them in. People don't realize, they think it's very expensive, and you can use your health insurance for it. They think that it is a scary, punishing environment, and we create the exact opposite of that. We don't treat people like they're bad, we treat them like they're sick. So it's with love and understanding. We guide them into how to learn how to get their value as a human being. You can't imagine what it's like to be a 20-year-old kid that has no value and no hope as a human being again. That's why it takes
All right,
a
we
while.
talk about any of these recovery centers being built in the South Carolina area. Are we looking at that?
Yes. Yeah, it's in desperate need of it. And we came down here through Philip and his relatives because the police departments, now they're getting Narcan. They have all these kids overdosing. They overdose. They wake them up with the Narcan. Now they're at the hospital. The hospital cuts them loose in 2 days, and they're back doing it again.
Yeah.
And you need some help here. So we came here to help.
And you guys are seeing families are being massively impacted by this. It's tearing families apart. What are you seeing with that?
Well, I'm from a family that lost 3, and so I have a really personal understanding of the fact that when you have the worst case scenario, and it happened 50,000 times this year, that some beautiful kid was lost to this. The family is never the same. But in between that, the family is a wreck trying to save the life. We work with parents also because parents go through post-traumatic stress. If you're a mom and your kid is on the street, your beautiful daughter is on the street missing, and you're sitting there waiting for the phone to ring, you develop post-traumatic stress.
Absolutely.
So we've got to work with the parents to get them to understand and how to treat people.
No.
All right, Philip, let's ask Philip that
sure.
question. Ask him that question.
Yeah, with the parents, do you think that the kids need more tough love, or before they hit rock bottom? Like, talk about that.
This whole thing about getting it to rock bottom, sometimes rock bottom is
Not really
just
rock
how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sitting down and talking to them, your kids, about what's going on, like Greg is saying, drug test your kids and talk about this. I was at a PTA meeting the other day, and they were talking a lot about privacy, and if it's my kids and I think that there's something going on that could hurt them, I'm going to find out what's going on. And so you sit down with them and you talk to them with compassion, and this whole tough love thing, I mean, it didn't work for me. I know that I went through Greg's treatment center, and the only thing that got through to me, and this was even after going through his treatment center, was all the time Greg spent on the phone with me and my family, all hours, whatever it is we were going through. There was no tough love, and that's what got through to me, was believing in me when nobody else would, and just gently kind of getting me to sit still when I was spun out, and kind of and it was a big difference than other places I'd been through that were kind of a break you down, build you up, hot seat in the middle, call you out on your character defects. And I'm spun out. All I want to do is leave the center. Greg's center was the only center that I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay there because it was, I enjoyed being there and I got a lot out of it. And
they were able to give you compassion and get on your level,
and
let you know that they were there for you.
And they had role models, around, like, Greg, I would look up to Greg, Daniel, I look up to Daniel. There are plenty of people all over a center that you look up to and say, I've been there, but this is where I'm at now, and kind of give you hope. So instead of feeling bad about myself, I was filled with hope, and my life has changed. Greg and me were joking around, sitting on the couch at the treatment center in New Jersey the other day, and he was going, we could have begged, borrowed, and stole, to bet against that we would be sitting here having this conversation when I came into the center the way he was. I mean, it was bad when I showed up, But,
well, this is a mental health issue also.
Absolutely.
So if it was just a drug issue, it'd be easy to deal with. But so you don't tough love an autistic kid.
Absolutely.
You don't tough love a schizophrenic. You don't tough love this, because tough love could lead you to the having to be, a mom shouldn't be picking a coffin out for their kid.
Ooh.
That's what, and people don't realize that this is different than anything that we've ever seen. And that you have to fight, and you continue to fight as hard as you can, whatever it takes, because if you lose this fight, you didn't put every single ounce of everything into fighting for your child or your loved one,
right,
you'll never be the same.
And I mean, I'm a mom of 2 boys. It's terrifying to hear, to just be honest to you. It's terrifying for me to hear you guys say these things, but it's opening my eyes, and I think it's opening a lot of people's eyes that are not aware just the impact that it's happened. Daniel?
Well, Greg mentioned earlier something, and I think this is very significant to understand, and that is the system that is in hand in most places, even the finest places at $75,000 a month or whatever it costs, are failing us. So what these men did, particularly Greg, he wrote down the things that work and he wrote down the things that do not work. And one of the things for sure is numbers don't lie. Less than 3% of those people that go into recovery center for 1 month or less stay sober for 1 year. Wow. Less than 3 out of 100. That means 97.5 of them go right back out and use after going to these very prestigious institutions. So length of sobriety has a direct correlation with length of stay. And that's one of the things when we say long-term sobriety is modeled after this, because we want you there. Sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's a year. But to give your kid that chance to come out and stay sober for a lifetime, and not stay sober for, oh, he did really well, he stayed sober for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then he died.
If your kid needed a year of cancer treatment at the best place ever in California, it wouldn't even be a thought.
Nope. Yep.
And it wouldn't be, we need you to shorten your cancer treatment, and because you need to get a job and you need to get back on your feet. This is the same thing.
Exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
All right, Joel, I'm going to ask you a question here. What is SOBA doing now that's helping individuals, across the country?
Well, just, from the treatment model that was already talked about, long-term care. You see so many facilities, the majority of facilities are providing a treatment that works maybe a little bit when you're in a bubble, but doesn't really prepare you when you go home. So we assist people with long-term care and make sure that they're ready to go home and that they're going to be able to maintain and sustain sobriety when they go home. Helping them with all sorts of different things like getting a job and balancing a checkbook and living a healthy lifestyle, getting back into school, different things like that to really support them, different life skills we help a lot with to be able to sustain recovery.
Right, and
Thank you. Yeah, that's very good. All right, we got a couple of minutes left now. All right, should parents, you said a minute ago, parents should not be afraid if they think their son or daughter is using drugs to drug test them.
No, they have a gun in their hand. And it is, and so many parents, I'm afraid. No, you need to treat this as an emergency, because it is. Joel had also set up a outreach initiative with Philip in New Jersey, where now when the police and the hospitals have a Narcan, they call up and we send somebody down to get people into treatment.
Okay. Well, we thank you guys. I've learned a lot today. I don't know about you, but I sure have.
Me too. Whoa. I mean, that's a lot to take in. So if somebody wants more information, the website they need to go to find out more information
with this. Then go to sobamalibu.com or sobacollegerecovery.com or hit Daniel and I up on Facebook too. You can just go to Greg Hanley or Daniel Baldwin on Facebook.
I've been known to show up in the living room.
That's right.
I've been known.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, guys, we really thank you for being here and just everything you're doing in the community. We really, really appreciate it.
God bless you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us.
Carolina and Company Live is sponsored by the businesses, organizations, and groups featured in this program. The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect that of WPDE ABC 15, WWM